Yo, they will take your dreams from you. They will take your dreams from you. They are gonna take your dream from you. They are gonna take your dream from you. They are gonna take your dream from you. Has it sunk in yet? Has it sunk in yet? Because I I really want you guys to realize this, right? The, there's somebody out there who wants your dream, who wants that girl, who wants that car, who wants that same house that you want. They want it and they are working harder than you. And imagine that when they do get all the things that you want, now you are never able to get those things again. Let me repeat that. Someone out there wants exactly what you want. And if you let them get to it first, you will never be able to attain those things ever again. You have to downgrade. You have to accept second place. Right? Because let's be honest, second place is the first loser. Maybe this is the first time you've heard that. Second place means you are the first loser. Right? You look at the World Cup, those players didn't want second place. Who wants to be satisfied with second place? Right? And this suit it's kind of getting on my nerves. It's because I'm sitting down. And nobody wants second. Why would you be satisfied with second place? You should be passionate about losing. It should anger you that you lost. Winning is everything. Winning is everything. If you can't understand that, then this message isn't for you, right? If you're satisfied being a loser, okay, that's fine. That's what you want out of life. But I'm speaking to the guys that hate losing, right? Because to truly be a winner, to truly win, you must hate losing more than you love winning. Every high achiever, every guy that is exceptional at what they do, they hate losing more than they love winning. They hate losing more than they love winning. Winning is great. Winning is awesome. But the frustration and anger that comes with losing cannot compare with the joy that you get from winning. Which is why, you know what, you can only truly love winning when you lost, right? And when you truly hate losing, well, you'll do whatever it takes to make sure that you never lose again, right? I'm sure you've seen some guys like Elon Musk, right? Bro, just I called him bro. Everything this man does, it's magic, right? Success, money, power, success, money, power. Every company he's started in recent years, for some reason, right, they become successful because this man truly understands that he has to do whatever it takes to ensure he wins and remains a winner. He takes the risks because he understands the reward, right? There's a reward to the risk that you are willing to take, right? And when I go back to the statement that they are going to take your dream from you, it needs to be ingrained up here that you have to do whatever it takes. It's only going to get harder for you to go after the things that you want. So why are you wasting time? Why? Truly ask yourself that question. Why do you waste time every single day not going after the things that you want? Do you really want the things that you say you want? It's one of those things where you need to figure out everything that is needed in order for you to get closer to your goals. What skills do you need? What connections do you need? What resources do you need? What equipment do you need? Because the more you internalize your goal, right, and truly start writing down every little thing you need. Okay, I need this skill, right? I need to be a leader. I need to be able to manage people. I need to be able to operate. I need to be able to train. I need to be able to speak well. I need to be able to dress well. I need to be able to walk right. I need to be able to have good posture. I need to be strong. I need to have great physique. I need these things, right? And once you list them down, now you have work to do, right? Now you have to start checking things off the list. Okay, I'm pretty good at this now. I'm decent. Oh, I can't do this. So what if I hired somebody to do this thing for me? Okay, I'm building this company, but I'm not really good at managing people. Can I learn the skill? Yes. Okay, do I have time to learn the skill? No. Is it going to be important for me to know the skill? Yes. Okay, then, well, you need to make time so that you can learn and get good at that skill, right? It's one of those things where you really need to reverse analyze, if that's the correct term, right? Your goal, right? Break it down backwards. Okay, this is the goal. What is it gonna take for me to get to that goal, right? Go backwards. Go down the it's like an upside down pyramid or whatever, however you wanna, picture that, right? And you wanna make sure that all those skills, you're checking them off one by one, because believe it or not, the more skills you have, the more money you're gonna be able to make. The more money you have, the more things you're gonna be able to do. The more things you're able to do, the more experiences you can have, the more experience you can share, the more knowledge you can share, right? It's like, you really need, I can't stress the value of building the right skills, because that's the only way of getting to your goals is with skills. There's no other way. There's no shortcut, right? And if there is a shortcut, it's probably not going to last that long, right? Because you're probably going to get hurt through the process. You're probably going to be doing things you don't want to do, right? Because you're trying to get through a shortcut, right? There's something that Elon said a while ago, and like I saw this a couple years ago. He said something like, have a 10-year plan, but try to achieve that 10-year plan in 6 months, right? You may not achieve that 10-year plan, the goal, but the things that you will learn in that 6-month process of trying to achieve that 10-year goal will take you way further than if you actually took 10 years to get to that goal. So now imagine you got this goal, it's a 10-year goal, but you're squeezing it to 6 months. You learn a lot of things, right? Now you do another 6-month stretch. You learn a lot of things. You do another 6-month stretch. You learn a lot of things, right? Trial, error, trial, error, trial, error, right? Now you still have 10 years, but you squeezed it into 6 months, right? Now you do another 6 months of just keep going and squeezing, trying to get that same goal. Another 6 months. Now you're a year and 6 months in, and you're doing another 6 months. Now you're 2 years in, and you're probably way closer to that 10-year goal. So now your brain is probably thinking differently, right? You're analyzing situations differently, right? Whatever that 10-year goal is, right? Now you're way closer than if you took 2 years, right? The same 2 years you just spent where you were trying to cram the 10-year goal into 6 months. Now, let's say somebody else had the same vision, plan, whatever. They took 2 years. You're way further than them because of all the lessons you were forcing yourself to learn, forcing yourself to master, right? All the skills you were forcing, really like making sure that you could do them easily, right? Let's say it was shooting as many baskets as possible. Well, okay, now you're shooting as many baskets every morning. Every morning before you start your day, let's say you got a basketball court in your backyard or a basket to shoot at, right? Every morning you do 500 shots before you do anything else, right? That's your workout. You say, you know what? Let me do 1,000, right? Because let's be honest, the more volume you can do, the better. The faster you're gonna pick up something, right? So if you're shooting the same shot 1,000 times every morning before you go to work, before you go to school, right? Guess what? In a year, do you know how crazy that shot is gonna be? Do you know how crazy that shot is gonna be when you that for a year? Now let's say you keep the habit, you do it for 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. Imagine imagine how crazy that jump shot of yours is going to be. Now you can apply this to anything. Wrestling, soccer, football, American football, business, right? Let's say you're gonna practice 10, like you're gonna say the closing line or whatever. You're gonna say that 1,000 times before you do anything else, right? Obviously, it's gonna take you time, so obviously you need to manage your day properly. But let's just say you're doing it. You say, "Yo, I'm gonna say this line 1,000 times until I memorize it every morning." Imagine. Now you might be like, 1,000 times. Why would I do that 1,000 times? Okay, cool. You don't want to do it 1,000 times. that guy's willing to do it 1,000 times. Do you think you're ever gonna beat that guy? Do you genuinely think you're gonna beat that guy? Now imagine the guy who's willing to take on 1,000 sales calls. They all say no, but imagine he just picks up the phone. Yo, every day I'm doing 100 calls. Now he gets to that 1,000 mark. Now he's like, you know what? Let me see if I can do $200 a day. It's not easy, but he's gonna find a way to make it happen. Boom, he's doing $200 a day. Do you think you're beating that guy when you're only doing $5, $10 a day? Picking up the phone and only doing 5 to 10 calls a day? Do you think you're gonna beat the guy who's making sure that he can dial 100, 200 times a day? Now, obviously, not everybody's gonna pick up, but the experience that he's gonna gain 100, 200 times a day, boom, picking up. Now people are starting to respond. Now he can't take 200 calls a day, but he's still making sure he does as many in that same time span. Now he's starting to take calls. Okay, now he's making sure that he can eliminate all the people that aren't going to be qualified and that aren't going to be able to buy it right away. So he's still doing that. Boom, 100 calls. Now it's down to 50 calls. Okay, now it's down to only 10 calls a day because now he's having an hour conversation with the people that matter, right? With the people that are actually going to buy now, right? Because now he's figured out a system to optimize the types of calls that he's doing. He's figured out a system to optimize the list to make sure that he's only calling qualified people, right? Imagine if you just put a little bit more effort into getting to your goal. Imagine what your life would look like 6 months from now, a year from now, 2 years from now, 5 years from now. If you just put a little bit more effort. But because you're so lazy, you're going to allow somebody else to beat you and take your dream from you. Could you imagine? Could you imagine you want a nice, lovely family, but because you didn't have what it takes to be the man who can actually manage and have that family, but somebody else did, and now they have that family, and you can never have that family ever again. You have to just remain single, never able to communicate ever to any women, to anything at all, because you let that guy beat you, right? You let him learn the skills, learn leadership, learn how to communicate. He learned all those things, and you weren't learning those things. So now he's able to have a loving, happy family, but you're not even able to talk to a woman, right? Could you imagine? Could you imagine? You want that 6-figure salary. That dude is working the same job as you, right? You know you're so close, but because you let him get there first, you are never able to get to 6 figures a year. Never, ever able to make 6 figures a year because you let him get there first, right? Imagine that. Imagine that. You need to look at every area of your life as a competition because life is truly war. And the more you can internalize that, the more you understand that fact and understand that point, the more you will realize, oh, no wonder I'm still stuck. No wonder I haven't achieved my dreams. Because you're slacking. You know you're slacking, but you don't want to admit it, right? You need to constantly be refining your dream and make sure that you're pursuing it in the best way possible, right? You be creative with your approach as often as you can, right? You need to be stuck on that goal, making sure that vision is never gone from your mind. But you do need to be adaptable. You do need to be able to shift gears when you need to make sure that you're still heading in the right direction, right? Because, like I'm always saying, no one will ever truly see how hard you work. They will never see the suffering. They will never see the pain. They will never see the lonely nights. They will never see that. And I wouldn't want them to see that. But guess what? They will see how good you get. They will see, oh man, now this guy has this. Huh. Oh, now he has that too. Oh, he's doing that now. Oh, how did he get that person? Oh, look at his out. Oh, that's how he's dressing now. A lot of them will talk shit, but let them. because they didn't put in the work that you put in to get those things. They weren't willing to do that. They weren't willing to suffer. They weren't willing to suffer for another year just to achieve those goals. They weren't willing to suffer for 5 years like you were. They weren't willing to suffer for 10 years like you were. So let them look. Let them admire. Let them know that they can't be like you. They will never be like you because of the effort and sacrifice that you put in. You know they could never even stomach doing those things. You know that they will never be able to stomach being alone for a whole year and you're just working away. Some of you are probably working 2-3 jobs right now because you have a mission to get to. And you know nobody else will be doing that. You know they won't be working 2 to 3 jobs. Imagine that. You barely have a social life. But you know that in a year from now, you will be able to start to go out and have a social life because you'll have more money to spend. 2 years from now, you know you'll be able to do that even more. 3 years from now, you know that, okay, now I've reached a point where I have the money. I can afford to go out 2 to 3 times a week and start genuinely speaking to more people, build a better, stronger social life. You understand that. And maybe you're the guy who's willing to do all of it at once. So you're not only working, you're barely sleeping, but you're also hitting the gym and you're also making sure that you could have a social life as well. So now you're working, let's say 8, 12 hours a day. You're also hitting the gym. You're also paying attention to what you're eating. And you're making it a mission to speak to at least 1 to 2 new people per day. Oh, how am I going to do that? Well, you have the gym, right? So if you're going to the gym, that's a place to be social. If you go out to buy food, that's a place to be social because there's probably going to be people at the restaurant. There's probably going to be people at the shopping center, right? So now you're not only building your social skills, you're building your income, you're building your body, right? Because again, you're building your mentality because now you're a different man. In 6 months, you're a completely different person. In a year, you're a completely different person. In 5 years, you're a completely different person because you were willing to do whatever it took. So now maybe you're sleeping 4-6 hours a night, but you're getting results. You're getting results and you're getting results and you're getting results and you're getting results. You know, you're getting more experience points. Now you're getting to this level. Now you're at this level. Now you're at this level. And you keep going and going and going. Imagine how crazy your life would look if you started applying and doing all these things, making sure that nobody will ever beat you ever again, making sure that you get the last laugh. They could laugh now, but in 5 years, 10 years, you get the last laugh. 20 years, you get the last laugh. 30 years, you get the last laugh. Because your mission is different than theirs. Your goals are different than theirs. You understand that they're not willing to sacrifice like you are. They're not willing to do whatever it takes like you are. How dare they think that they could be like you? How dare they think that they deserve the things that you have when they weren't even willing to put an ounce of the effort and energy and sacrifice that you were willing to? Imagine that. Imagine that. Imagine that. Write it down and go after it. Because no one will ever truly see how hard you work. But they will see how good you get. They will. They will. They will. They will. Just make sure that you stay consistent. Because the more consistent you stay, the more you'll start to see everything snowballs. It may take 6 months. It may take a year. It may take 2 years, 5 years, 10 years. But that snowball will just keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger until guess what? It's undeniable. It's absolutely undeniable that there's a massive snowball right there. And you're that massive snowball. But you have to stay consistent and you have to keep grinding. And you have to, do those late nights, do those early mornings. You have to. You have to. That's the only way you're ever going to get to those things. I mean, if you truly want them, you've had countless opportunities to truly change, but you've denied every single one. So it's up to you, you know, make the change. You know, I had to do this one for the camera. But look, gentlemen, you know it's a game. And you know you have to play this game until you die. So make sure you're doing whatever it takes to be one of the winners. And I'm making sure that you're one of the winners. You're the winner that the other winners are looking up to. Do that. Man, I'll catch you guys on the next one. I'll speak with you guys soon. Make sure you comment your questions down below. Make sure you reach out to me on Instagram if you have more personal things to talk about. Subscribe. I'll speak to you guys soon.